Oh, well, hello, good afternoon, or good morning, whichever is appropriate for you, and warm welcome to today's webinar on Women in STEM Scholarship. Hope I'm audible. My name is Nusrat Jahan. I'm working in the British Council Bangladesh office as head of education. With me today, I have speakers from the universities who are offering this Women in STEM scholarship. So we will have an opportunity to hear from all of them very soon. So they will be introducing themselves very shortly. Before that, let me share some housekeeping points with you. We would like to request all of you, except from the presenters, to turn your camera off and put your mic on mute if you're not speaking. And you can use your chat box for asking any questions and sharing your comments during the event. And British Council actually puts a strong emphasis on safeguarding children and adults from any abuse, harm during their physical or online event. So the British Council advises children under the age of 18 years to only view or participate with parents. For any support on child protection during the event, please contact us. And another point is we will be recording this session. So if you have any reservation about this, please let us know at this moment. If not, then we will be considering this as the consent. So let's start the discussion. So first, let me give you a brief idea on why actually we have arranged today's webinar. And then we will hear from the universities more detail on their offer on women in STEM scholarship. So why today's session? The British Council has launched a scholarship program in partnership with 19 UK universities aimed at benefiting women for the Americas, South Asia and Southeast Asia. So we are looking for women with a background in STEM who can demonstrate their need for financial support and who wish to inspire future generations of women to pursue their career in STEM. Let me give you a brief idea on the criteria, the eligibility criteria. So who are the citizens and residents of the eligible countries in the mentioned areas? They can apply for this scholarship definitely, and who are able to take up a full-time course of study in the UK, the academic year from September-October 2021 to 22, and who can demonstrate a need for financial support, of course, who have an undergraduate degree and that will enable them to gain access onto one of the pre-selected postgraduate courses at a university, UK university, who can attain a level of English required for the postgraduate study at the university now or upon completion of a pre-sessional English course, who are active in the field with work experience or a proven interest in the subject area, and of course who are passionate about their course of study and are willing to engage as committed British Council scholarship alumni. And of course, what are the benefits of this scholarship? Definitely it's academic prestige. The UK's universities are amongst the world's leaders in STEM subjects. Economic support will include tuition fees, stipend, travel cost, visa and health coverage fees, etc. And special support for mothers, and of course the English language support. And applications will be made directly to the participating universities, and in this point we will be listening to the representatives from the universities directly. So which South Asian countries are participating? They are India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Nepal, Sri Lanka and Afghanistan. And here today 8 universities are present. So we will be hearing from them. And now I will be requesting one after one to the universities to introduce themselves first. and also tell us about their institution, what their Women in STEM offer is, and what action you'd like to have from the students. So at the beginning, I would like to ask Amarjeet from Warwick University. Amarjeet, could you please introduce yourself and tell us briefly about the points we have just mentioned?
Nusrat, I'd be very happy to do that. I think Harish might want to just quickly introduce because he's leaving, so I hope that's okay. And I'll be able to introduce myself after that. I hope that's okay, Nusrat.
Okay, yeah. Thanks, Amarjeet. So we are moving to Harish. So Harish, could you please unmute yourself and tell us about your institution?
Thanks very much, Nusrat, and thanks very much, Amarjeet, as well. So my name is Harish Locken. I'm the Regional Manager for South Asia, based here in Edinburgh at the University of Edinburgh. We're a world-leading university, currently top 20 in the QS World University rankings, with 3 academic colleges in liberal arts, College of Medicine and Veterinary Medicine, and our College of Science and Engineering. The University of Edinburgh, supported by the British Council, is delighted to offer 5 fully funded scholarships for female students across South Asia studying eligible STEM-related subjects in the fields of life sciences and public health as well. So we have a number of master's programs in biochemistry, biodiversity, biotech, drug discovery, evolutionary genetics, for you to support for you to be funded by a 1-year full-time master's scholarship. Our School of Biological Sciences, our research ranges from fundamental cell and evolutionary biology through to biomedical and industrial applications. We are one of the largest centres of biological science in the UK, top 3 in the UK for research and top 5 in the UK and world top 25 for biological sciences in the QS and Times Higher Education World University ranking. So we have a world place in this area. Our call to action for you would be to check out our scholarship page about further information to apply. I'll put the link in the message box and you'll see all the full details, all the eligible countries. For us at Edinburgh, it's Bangladesh, India and Pakistan, and you'll see all the eligible programs you can apply for. The deadline for the University of Edinburgh for Women in STEM will be the 9th of April 2020. Thanks very much, everyone, and best of luck to you all with your applications, and we hope to receive them soon. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much, Harish. Thanks for the information. So now I'm moving to Amarjeet. So Amarjeet from Warwick University.
Yeah, thank you very much, Nusrat, and hello and welcome. I'm very delighted to be part of this session today. My name is Amarjeet and I'm from University of Warwick. Warwick is a world-class institution and it has a very strong reputation for wide-ranging impact of our research. And equally importantly, our postgraduate students are an integral part of this strong research community. I'm proud to be representing a university that is a top 10 UK university, and it's also top 100 in the world, which means Warwick is internationally recognized and it's also very well respected globally. But personally speaking, I live not very far from the campus of Warwick, and what really makes Warwick quite unique is its excellent research and teaching experience, coupled with the beautiful campus environment where you're working hand in hand with other passionate students who are passionate about your subject, and you are being taught by academic staff who are passionate and undertaking world-class research, and you're supported by everyone in the university in that very beautiful campus environment. And I think that's what makes Warwick quite unique. We're very proud to be joining hands with British Council to offer these prestigious scholarships. So our 3 courses offered via British Council Women for STEM Scholarship are all in climate change, and we're very proud of this. And these courses are MSc Environmental Bioscience and Climate Change, Sustainable Crop Production, and Food Security. So again, our call to action would be for you to look on our website for more information, and we'll be delighted to welcome application and also answer some of the questions at the end, after the introduction part of the session. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Amarjeet. Thanks for the useful information. Now I'm moving to Laura. So Laura, could you please introduce yourself?
Hi, thank you, Nusrat. My name's Laura. I am the Regional Manager for South Asia here at Newcastle University. Newcastle University is a Russell Group university, so that means it's a research-intensive university, and we do a lot of great work across everything from medical sciences to the creative arts and all the way through to the STEM and engineering programmes here. Newcastle's a world leader in water, and we have 2 global challenges research hubs across South Asia, focusing on water security and the living deltas. And I'm delighted and proud to announce that we have 7 fully funded scholarships from British Council across the climate change area. Those courses are the MSc in Environmental Engineering, the MSc in Environmental Consultancy, our MRes in Environmental Geosciences, MSc in Hydrology and Water Management, and our MSc in Renewable Energy Enterprise and Management. I look forward to meeting students this morning and answering any questions. Call to action this morning would be to check out our application. Our deadline for application is actually the April the 9th, I think it is, but I will put that in the chat function for anyone who has any questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Laura. Now I'm moving to Jennifer from Strathclyde University.
Hi, good morning everyone. Welcome to the session. My name is Jenny. I work at the University of Strathclyde in the Faculty of Engineering. So Strathclyde is a leading international technological university which is based in Glasgow in Scotland. Glasgow is the 3rd largest city in the UK. It's also recently been voted the world's most friendly city for the 2nd year in a row, which is something that we're really proud of, the welcoming environment that our students have. We are delighted to be offering 6 Women in STEM scholarships this year, and ours are all related to the field of energy transition. So Strathclyde has one of Europe's largest research networks based around energy. We have more than 250 members of academic staff actively working in this field across a wide range of disciplines, from engineering to biotechnology to law, policy, energy management. So it's a real interdisciplinary hub. And last February, Strathclyde was awarded a Queen's Anniversary Prize, which is the UK's highest national honour for universities. It's presented by Queen Elizabeth II at Buckingham Palace, and that was specifically for our university's work in energy innovation. So our scholarships are awarded primarily through our Faculty of Engineering and cover a really wide range of engineering disciplines. So chemical and process engineering, electrical and power systems engineering, mechanical engineering, marine and offshore engineering, and also renewable energy engineering as well. Our scholarships are available for students from all countries in the call, so India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Nepal and Afghanistan. Our closing date is the 31st of March, and I'd also very kind of just direct students to go to our scholarship webpage, which I'll put in the meeting chat as well, and to complete and submit the online application form. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jenny. Now I'd like to request Shivani from Brunel University, London.
Hi, thank you so much, Nusrat. It's a pleasure to be here with such esteemed colleagues from the industry and to also have an opportunity to talk to some wonderful students from the region. I'm Shivani. I'm the Regional Manager for South Asia for Brunel University, London. Brunel actually is an internationally fairly driven university, and it feels extremely proud to share that we've been ranked 28th in the world for our international outlook and 7th in the UK for the same as well. Here we're to talk about obviously the women in STEM and what opportunities we have at Brunel. So in the last 5 years, actually, Brunel has aggressively worked with different departments across the STEM subjects to give enough opportunities to women to grow in this area. And I'm absolutely pleased to tell you that, in the last 1 year, we've seen an increase of approximately 50% in our enrollment numbers from women. Earlier when I used to visit a recruitment event like this, very rarely would a woman say, I want to study aerospace engineering or public health or, disease studies or cancer research. And it feels extremely proud as a woman to see that this is, constantly growing and we're engaging in a much stronger manner. The support that Brunel gives to these women in STEM is also the fact that we have a mentoring scheme where we have more than 90 mentors from the industry that these women students could sign up from when they start their program. And we also do an annual employability event with, esteemed organizations like the NHS or the Department of International Development. And we engage a lot. We ensure that our students engage with the industry to get hands-on practical experience as well. As far as this scholarship, we're very proud and pleased that the British Council has supported us with 6 fully funded scholarships. Call to action will be across to all the regions that are mentioned in this, and I will put the application details onto the chat. Our application deadline is slightly early. We're already very overwhelmed with the applications that we've got. So the deadline would be 22nd of March. The 3 courses that we're running would be Masters of Public Health and Health Promotion, Masters of Disease Mechanism and Therapeutic, and the MSc in Biomedical Engineering. So fairly different from my other colleagues here who are working on climate change, but always here to support women in every way possible. And we would be happy to answer any questions at a later stage. So thank you, everyone, and have a lovely day ahead.
Thank you so much, Shivani. Now we would hear from Robert from Edinburgh Napier University.
Good morning from the UK and good afternoon, I guess, in Bangladesh. It's nice to be here. Nice to see all my colleagues again. Thank you, British Council, for bringing us all together to see each other on screens. My name is Rob. I work at Edinburgh Napier University as an international partnerships manager covering South Asia. And we have 6 scholarship awards available through the scheme based on the theme of climate change. So we have 4 top masters available in the scheme through our School of Engineering and Built Environment, covering a range of topics relating to climate change, but also focusing on things like architectural technology, which is tied to our Centre for Timber Studies, which is, Jennifer, we have 2 Queen's Anniversary Prizes, I'm afraid, related to this area. It's not that it's a competition, but it is some really interesting research happening in that area, so I just wanted to highlight that. So Edinburgh as a city is, Harish maybe didn't mention too much about this, but it's a great place to be a student. We have it's only about 500,000 people, so it's not a big place, but it's great for international students because it's easy to make sense of. We're very friendly, we're very welcoming, and the weather is not as bad as you think it might be. So my advice to students who are listening to the webinar today is to go and spread the words, tell your friends about this. We want to get the word out and reach as many people as possible who might be eligible for this. So please do pass on the message to anyone who wasn't able to come today. Our deadline, just to remember, is the 15th of April. And again, I'll put our link to our scholarship page on the chat box there. Thank you. That's enough from me just now.
Thank you very much, Rob. Now we are moving to Francis from City University, London.
Hi everyone, my name is Francis. I work for City University. I work as an admissions officer in the postgraduate. So City University is over 125 years old and we're located in the centre of London. We've got really close links to employers and we rank among the top 10 worldwide in graduate salaries and we're in the top 10 in the UK. We're a really diverse university. Over 40% of our overall student body are from the overseas, and for postgraduate courses, this number is even higher, over 50% for the most part. We have an Indian society, Bengali society, Pakistani society, Afghani, Tamil, Nepalese, so we have a really diverse student body, and I think that's sort of a representation of how London is. So really welcoming city, it's a real melting pot of cultures. With regards to our offer for this scholarship, we have 6 scholarships to be awarded with 3 courses available for this scholarship. We've got artificial intelligence, energy and environmental technology with economics, and renewable energy and power systems management. For that artificial intelligence course, there's an internship option that you can take as part of that course that will allow you to work in the field for up to 6 months, and that's something we're exploring with the other 2 courses that I mentioned for 2021-2022. In order to be considered, this is really important, you need to make your application for the course first and then make your application for the scholarship. That's really important, you need to do that, otherwise unfortunately you won't be considered, so please do make sure that you do that. And the deadline that we have set is the 9th of April. Like everyone else said, if you've got any questions, please feel free to pop them in the chat and I'll be happy to answer any. Thank you.
Thanks, Francis, and we are moving to Adam from Teesside University. Adam, over to you.
Thank you very much, Nusrat. Thank you, everybody. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the webinar. My name's Adam. I'm the Head of International Recruitment at Teesside University in the north of England. It's a pleasure to be here. We are indeed taking part in the scholarship scheme as well. We are a university with a diverse intake. We have a significant recruitment population from South Asia, and we have a regional presence in Delhi and are active in Bangladesh. frequently. So hopefully we'll have the chance to see you in person as we have the chance to move around the world again. But in the meantime, it's a pleasure to say that we have 7 scholarships available with an application deadline of the 9th of April. Our scholarships are available to applicants from Afghanistan, Bangladesh, India, Nepal, Pakistan and Sri Lanka. And the 2 program areas that we are offering these scholarships in are MSc Electrical Power and Energy Systems and MSc Environmental Management. So we are delighted to be part of this program. We do get involved as much as possible with the British Council because of the great work that they do, and we are involved in other great scholarship schemes, etc. So we naturally have the experience of managing these schemes and welcoming students from around the world. So in applying for Teesside, potentially you can access the support from us in the UK or our regional team based just outside of Delhi in India. I won't repeat what my colleagues have said, other than to say the scholarship information is available online, which is tees.ac.uk/international. And as I say, the application deadline is the 9th of April. And I very much look forward to welcoming fantastic applications and meeting many of you when you do join us at Teesside in the coming months.
Thank you so much, Adam. So now we have heard from all the 8 universities who are present here. So now I think I will be moving to some specific questions to the universities, and I hope that it will help the audience to answer some of their own questions as well. And in the end, definitely we will have a question and answer session. So please feel free to share your questions, comments in the chat box so that we can pick those out. So now I would like to ask a question to the representative from University of Edinburgh. Actually, Harish is already left, so we can ask this question later. So first question for Amarjeet from University of Warwick. So Amarjeet, why are the universities offering this scholarship? I mean, what is the need of this scholarship and why actually STEM? Why not something else? And why specifically women?
Thanks, Mr. I think that's a wonderful question. Before I answer that question, I would like to take a step back and explain that, take the opportunity to say that UK universities in general are very, very generous in terms of its diversity of scholarships. For all students, and international students play a crucial role because most of these scholarships are merit-based and are excellent scholarship, and international students from South Asia take full benefit of that criteria. So generally speaking, UK is widely popular for its range of scholarships. Now moving on to the main bit of the question, why STEM? Well, you know, it's very well documented, and we know that there's a huge significant gender gap in STEM subjects today. And while countries and governments are still debating why this gender gap exists in STEM, universities have taken the initiative to spearhead this and work with international bodies, British Council, sponsorship bodies across the world to close this gap of opportunity, access to opportunity for STEM for those who are in need. And therefore, we're very, very proud all these universities are offering scholarships in some of these bespoke specific courses for women in STEM to narrow this gap and provide them the opportunity of access to apply for this wonderful, prestigious scholarship. And something I would like to just mention is that what is so beautiful about this scheme is that as an applicant, you have to demonstrate that you need economic support. So this is truly, genuinely a life-changing scholarship opportunity for women who have background in STEM and want to study masters at an advanced level and of course take that experience and be part of the wider solution that UK universities are offering today, as you will see. So I suppose that's why UK universities are here to speak to you and get in touch with us. These are fantastic opportunities for all students, but then this one specifically is for women with STEM background. So please get in touch. I hope I've answered that question, Nusrat.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you very much, Amarjeet. Yeah, you have rightly pointed out about diversity of the offers from the UK universities, and definitely rightly mentioned about the gender gap and the need of these STEM scholarships. So thanks, Amarjeet. And next question to Robert from Edinburgh Napier University. So Robert, could you please tell us, like, of course, all of you have mentioned about the application process, but if you could briefly in detail tell us about how the students should go about applying for these scholarships.
Sure. Well, really there's just two parts to it. We will all have our own individual study applications, which students would be going through anyway, regardless of whether they're applying for the scholarship. And one of the key eligibility criteria that you mentioned earlier is that students must be eligible to receive an offer from us for the program that they want to study. So the first thing really is to apply for the course, which you would do anyway. And then secondly, the second part of it would be the scholarship application, which is entirely separate. And we all have application forms on our respective websites. And you'll see in the chat box, you'll see links to all of the specific details, including a reminder of the eligibility criteria that we all set. So it would be really important to note the deadlines for the universities that you're applying to. So I remember, I think Warwick also, like Napier, are doing offering masters on the theme of climate change. Maybe that also applies to Warwick. Another fine place, but I'm in competition with you, Amarjeet. Anyway, sorry. Yeah. So yes, my point was make sure that you get your applications in on time. Look at the different deadlines and plan these out so that you have everything submitted and ready to go. So that we've at least got your application. Even if you don't have an offer at the point which you submit the scholarship application, that's okay, as long as you know that you would be eligible to receive an offer and you submitted your study application. We will still consider you, and then universities will look at your study application and as soon as they can. Some of us work faster than others on that case.
Thank you so much, Robert. I hope our audience has now got a better understanding on the process of the applications. But please feel free, if you have any specific question to any university or us, please feel free to write in the chat box. So next, I'd like to hear from Francis again from City University of London. Francis, my question to you is, what makes a successful application? And what should I include in my scholarship essay if I am applying for the scholarship?
Yeah, sure. So I would say the obvious one, first up, is that you meet the criteria. It seems obvious, but I would say make sure that you do read through thoroughly and you make sure that this is the scholarship for you. And if there's anything you're unsure of, obviously reach out to the university that you're applying to. And just because as was mentioned earlier, we do have a lot of scholarships in the UK. It may be that there's some other funding that that is available to you that can also help you sort of study in the UK. For our university, as I mentioned earlier, applying for the course first, you need to do that. So that would be very important. But in terms of what you need to show in your application, I would say, obviously, it's a competitive scholarship. There's going to be a lot of applications. So having that strong work and academic background, if that can be demonstrated clearly throughout the application, that's going to stand you in good stead. But I think possibly even more important than that would be that you've got a clear passion subject and for the advancement of women in STEM. And certainly within our application, you have 5 sort of text answers that you'll need to respond to. 5 sort of questions that you'll need to respond to within the essay question, and they should prompt that out of you, so you don't have to worry about, oh, where am I going to fit that in? It should be fairly easily prompted. And then the final piece of advice I give you, I think, would just be to read the question, write your answer, and then have a look at the question again. Obviously, there's a very tight word limit. So there's only like 200 words and 500 words here. So I would say make sure that you really make sure that you utilize all the space that you do have, and that you're clearly answering the question really succinctly and directly. So yeah, those would be my 4 points. Would be make sure you meet the criteria, demonstrate that you've got a strong work and academic background, that you've got a passion for the subject and for the advancement of women in STEM, and also to make sure that you're really answering the questions that are posed very directly.
Thanks, Francis. That's a very, very useful suggestions. I hope audience will be benefited from this. Next, I would like to ask Laura from Newcastle University. So as a university, what are you actually looking for from the scholarships, from the students?
Yeah, great, thank you. And I'm going to try to answer this collectively for all institutions, but also what we're looking for from Newcastle. And very much to kind of reiterate what the panel have been saying is, this scholarship is a very prestigious and it's a very competitive scholarship, and many universities will receive a number of applications for this scholarship. So you need to stand out from the crowd in this application. So not only are we looking for academic merit, we want the best students for this, but we're also wanting students who can demonstrate their passion for the subject area, their passion for that thematic area, so at Newcastle, climate change. And within that, being able to demonstrate how that's going to support them and in their future. So being able to relate their course at Newcastle and how that's going to take them into their career that they want to do post-graduation. I think it's also very important that students can demonstrate that transferability and those transferable skills that they've demonstrated from their previous studies or their work experience, and how they can apply that to their course at their chosen institution, but also in their career at the end. I think one of my big pieces of advice for any student applying for any scholarship scheme is that make sure that you apply and you apply to that university for that university. The number of applications we see, and there's lots of nods on the panel now, so this is not just what we experience at Newcastle, but we see lots of students applying to a number of scholarship schemes and inadvertently mentioning the wrong university name on their scholarship application, or not understanding or researching that university or the research areas that they might be doing or the course in more detail. So that ultimately will be the first thing that kind of takes you straight off that pile of scholarship applications. So make sure that you research the course and you can demonstrate that in your application. I think that's my big piece of advice. Also, make sure that you actually demonstrate your experience. Don't just say 2 lines in your application. Give us something to work with. Give us some information that we can kind of use to shortlist. So yeah, we're looking for the academic merit, but also that passion around that subject area and being able to demonstrate their kind of a career outcome at the end of it.
Thank you so much, Laura, for the comprehensive answer collectively. Next question is for Shivani from Brunel University. So Shivani, how does someone who is looking for this scholarship will prepare for living and studying in the UK?
Thanks, Nusrat. I think this is the next important point. Once you have the scholarship, you have the offer, you've got the choice of your university. I think there's a lot of nervousness among Asian students because they may not have left their home country ever before. I myself was an international student at Brunel, and having experienced this, I think there are a few tips I could give. One is, I think it's very important to, kind of devise a budget for yourself before you leave from here, so that it gives you a little approximation of what to expect when you get there. This kind of information will be available across all of the universities in our international student guide. So this will give you an approximate idea. And I think the second thing I surely recommend is definitely do take some cooking lessons. Because once you get there, you surely do miss your culture, and a very big part of culture is food. So food makes all of us happy, and I think during the COVID lockdown we realized this as well. If you have good food, you're a happy person. So I think because we all in Asia in general are so close to our culture, we're so close to our people, it's important to kind of keep that very much intact and alive. And I think third and most importantly, be yourself, be friendly. I think often we also see, I would say South Asian students getting very conscious about their culture, about where they come from. I think we should feel proud of who we are. And, and I kind of try to blend in, make friends from different parts of the world, I think. And this will make your life very easy, because the big problem I feel a lot of Asian students do is they want to stay within their community. I often tell Indian students as well that that's not the first question you have to ask. Do you have an Indian society? What you should be asking, do you have an American society? Do you have a Canadian society? We need to be friends with people from other parts of the world rather than just ourselves. So these are the small tips, but we're all smart. Once we get there, we learn to kind of manage our expenses, our living, our style very well. And most importantly, try to book your accommodation before you leave your home country. because your parents would be really worried for you as well if you don't have a home to go once you arrive there. And I think all of us, all the 8 universities here have wonderful accommodation of options on campus as well as off campus. So this is something the students must remember, that, you know, the British Council is supporting you all in all. So definitely we should, you know, kind of take care of these small points. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Shivani. That's a very important point, the culture. And thanks for the advices, like the cooking lesson. So next, I would like to ask Jennifer from University of Strathclyde. Jennifer, today we are talking about the Women in STEM scholarship, but there are other scholarships and opportunities. So if someone is willing to study in the UK, what are the good resources for knowing about this kind of scholarships and opportunities?
Thanks, Nusrat. I think kind of as we've seen from the discussion so far, I think every university has a really comprehensive list of scholarships on its own website. So I'd encourage you to kind of check the scholarships pages for each university. So universities will offer their own scholarships, but they will also usually post kind of details of external scholarships, externally funded scholarships that students can apply to, like the Women in STEM scholarships, on their website. Also, speak to your representative. So representatives of universities, either based in South Asia or in the UK, reach out by email or on social media, and people will be really happy to help you. And equally, even for some students, you can talk to academic departments, or I think one of the things that is quite unique and different about studying in the UK is how approachable members of academic staff are. It's not like maybe how some students might have experienced in their home country, where there's quite a big gap between yourself and the professor. Here our staff are all really approachable and we'll be really happy to help you. Out with the universities, the British Council is also a great resource. Their Study in the UK pages also list scholarship opportunities. The British Council funds a number of their own scholarships aside from the Women in STEM scholarships, so that's a good resource as well. I'd also urge you to check your own national government. So quite a lot of governments do offer scholarships for study overseas, and equally also there is the UK government scholarships as well. So the UK government runs the 2 main programs of the Commonwealth scholarships and the Chevening scholarships, but there are also other specific awards as well. These awards, they are quite small numbers and they are open to students from all around the world, so they are very competitive, but they are an excellent, highly prestigious offering, and we know that students from South Asia do very well in these awards and are very successful.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Jenny, for your answer. Now I will move to Adam from Teesside University. So Adam, so far we have talked about the opportunities, about the study, but I'm sure that the students who are interested to apply for study in the UK, they are also concerned about their after-study work. So can you please tell us, like, what are the students' options for post-study work, and about the future career plan after completing the course successfully, specifically about the Women in STEM awardees?
No problem. Thank you, Nusrat. Of course, over the last few years, the UK has increased yet again in popularity for students from around the world, and particularly South Asia. And we have seen growing demand for the opportunity to work after study. And I think most, in fact, all UK universities would appreciate that it's no longer about just the academic programme necessarily. It's a means usually to progression in your career. And as a result, all of my colleagues here I know will be delighted that the government has announced that on the 1st of July this year, students will be able to apply for the graduate route visa, which allows students on a postgraduate talk programme to stay in the UK after graduation for 2 years. Now, that is designed to allow students to use their experience and qualifications to gain employment if they desire, and they can then stay on after that as well for the skilled worker visa status, should they be successful in obtaining an appropriate position of employment. Now, not everybody wants to stay in the UK in the long term, we understand that, so there may be students aspiring to stay for a short while and then to go back home, but equally, particularly the students and the women successful in these awards will be in receipt of some of the most prestigious scholarship funding in the UK in this cycle. So as a result, you have been deemed to be some of the most credible and students with the most potential in the long term for making a change to society. So as a result, I would expect employability to be readily available in the longer term, certainly with the graduate route visa. So during your program, I would take advantage of all of the support that will definitely be available at each institution in terms of career guidance, mentoring. You might be able to, rather than do a dissertation, do say a business project, which would allow you to engage with an organisation and write perhaps a project on a real life business challenge, which could then give you access to that employability opportunity in the future. So all in all, take advantage of everything on offer during your programme, but be rest assured that the government now, alongside all of our universities, are very supportive of our international students staying, not just in the couple of years following graduation, but in the long term, because we value everyone's contribution.
Thank you so much, Adam. Thanks for your answer. So you have started getting questions from our audience, very interesting questions. So from many of the questions, I will be choosing some and will ask for your help. So a question is to keep the scholarship, is there any minimum grade to be maintained? So throughout the study, we have learned about the eligibility criteria, but to maintain that scholarship, if there is any criteria or minimum grade point to be maintained. So would any of you like to answer this question?
I don't mind answering that. I think it's important that every institution will have different academic entry criteria for their courses. So it's not a generic GPA, the students need to refer to the scholarship application, but also the academic course they're applying to, and check the academic scores that are needed for the academic course. There's no additional academic scores needed, so they don't need to exceed their GPA by 0.5 or 2 points. If we ask them for a 3.2 or a 65%, then that is the same academic scores are related to the scholarship.
Thank you, Laura. Thanks very much. And someone has asked about the graduate route and has asked that whether there is any implication in Women in STEM scholarship. Yes, definitely the awardee who will be achieving this scholarship of Women in STEM, they will be eligible to apply for this graduate route. So no worries about that. Then I actually had a question in mind, and I'd like to ask, and please feel free to answer if you would like to. I was curious to know what is the reason behind choosing South Asia, why South Asia is suitable for this scholarship, and what are the values to be added from the students from South Asia. Is anyone interested to answer this question? Amarjeet, maybe?
I can try.
Sure.
I think to answer that question, I would say let's look back at what UK universities are doing today. If you look at it, UK universities are participating in some of the groundbreaking research and are superbly established in their teaching quality. And they do this through the diversity in thought and culture that all students bring to its campuses, classroom, so on and so forth. I remember when I was an international student 12 years ago, the element of multiculturalism in the classroom in itself was a degree, an educational experience, and that really created that innovation, curiosity, but also something I learned, like when you study in the UK, you can call your professors with their first name, and you can question them without the risk of disrespecting them because you're asking genuinely a curious question. So there's a lot of things that international students and students from South Asia really learn from the UK education, but in return, they also provide fresh perspective into the classrooms, helping home students as well understand the diversity perception and challenge their own opinion, and that's where the learning really happens. I think within that piece of what I've said, with that in background, diversity is one of the key elements why UK universities are part of the solution to some of the complex problems, from pandemic to disease control. And that's why universities are really taking the forefront in increasing the diversity of students, and international students from South Asia play a key role in adding that diversity. I'm not sure if I completely answered that question, but I'd really invite other colleagues of mine to perhaps add anything if I missed anything at all.
Thanks, Amarjeet. That was quite okay. But if anyone else would like to add any point at this moment? If not, then we are moving to the next question. We have heard from Shivani about some tips to study abroad, but still there is a question from someone who has asked that someone who has not studied or lived outside the country, any special tips while studying abroad? So if any of you would like to answer this question about special
I'm happy to come in on that one.
Yeah, please, Francis.
Yeah, so most universities in the UK will have what's called sort of societies, which I'm sure you have in your countries as well, whereby there'll be sort of groups around the campus that are sort of organised by the Students' Union. So I mentioned some of the ones that we have earlier, like Nepalese, Bengali, and while there are those sort of societies, one tip that I would give you is that when you do come to the UK, I wish I'd done this when I was at university a little bit more. I didn't really start doing it till final year. Is joining as many societies as you can, trying things. There'll be loads of sort of sports societies. There'll be like gaming societies. There's like so many different ones, and they'll all be available. I'm sure if you go to every single university here, if you go to their student union's website, you'll be able to see all the societies that you can get involved in, and they'll welcome anyone really. Anyone's welcome to join and get involved, and it's a good way as well to get some experience maybe managing, because you get a chance maybe later on to run for president of those societies, and you can help organise events and stuff like that. So yeah, it's a really good way to get involved, meet other people, and really take yourself out of your comfort zone a little bit.
Thank you so much, Francis. Very useful suggestions. Yeah. We have got another interesting question, and I would like to ask this question to any of you if you would like to answer. So the question is there any specific criteria you're looking for, and is there any priority of a women with special needs or disability? So I think the different universities has different ways of choosing the applications, but in general, if you would like to add any point around giving priority with people with special needs. So any of you would like to
taking that?
Please, Adam, over to you.
In terms of the process, of course, it's in general, it's obviously a very competitive process, and each university will receive perhaps a different level of application volume, and therefore they will have to select what they believe to be the most deserving candidates out of the pool. Now, the advertised criteria will be listed there. So as some colleagues mentioned, applicants must initially meet the criteria, and each university may well specify other criteria that they want to focus on as part of the selection process. Now, one thing I would say is, we don't know everybody's circumstances unless we're informed of them. So if an applicant wishes to advise us of anything that they believe would make them perhaps a more deserving applicant or somebody who meets the criteria, then please do share that with us if you feel comfortable doing so. And universities do have an obligation, but actually proactively seek to broaden diversity of the intake and also to provide opportunities, which is fundamentally why we're here anyway, and also as part of this scholarship scheme. So if a student would feel they would like to contribute reasons why they have personally felt challenges in their life and how that this opportunity could potentially change their life, as I know Amjit said, that this is a life-changing opportunity, not just the value, but the prestigious nature of it, please let us know. I'm sure universities will be advertising also if there is any specific criteria around disability. So again, either read the criteria or do contact each institution. But rest assured, our whole agenda is to broaden the intake and the diversity of recruitment. And so we will be focusing on that at Teesside, and I'm sure my colleagues will be as well at other universities.
I just wanted to quickly come in there as well, just to mention that if a student does come to the UK for a course, that all of our universities will have support for students with disabilities. So it might not be a part of our requirement or criteria in terms of the scholarship, but if you are coming to the UK, all universities will have a support service that can support you with any disabilities you have, and that could include support within the classroom, but also support within your accommodation, so wheelchair accessible accommodation. So we are very accessible, we are there, so do get in touch with us and we will support you on that journey to the UK.
And I think it's, I'm speaking on behalf of everyone here probably, but most disability services at UK universities, they're used to dealing with students, and they're used to students self-referring, and they're generally speaking will be more than happy to discuss something with you prior to an application. So if you have any concerns about how to get the best out of your studies with us, or about what support might be available to you, we'd very much encourage you to reach out to them directly. We can put you in touch if necessary, but it can be done anonymously, and it has no bearing on your application whatsoever for your scholarship or for the place. We have a lot of support available, more so than in other parts of the world for university students. So relating back to the previous question about how to make the most out of your time, I think it is a short year. It's only 12 months for a master's in the UK. So being aware of what support and resources are available in societies and so on, just so you can hit the ground running, that's really important. So whether you come to us with through the scholarship funding or otherwise, absolutely have a look online and get really excited about it. Because now's the time to go and read up.
I think we might have lost Nushra. I think there's another question that I'll just pick the question that's popped up on the chat. There's a chat question came in saying, would students be eligible if they have more than 3 or 4 years gaps in their study? Does anyone want to pick that up?
Yeah, I'm happy to answer that one. I think hopefully I can speak for all of us when I say that I think, yes, we're all very kind of keen to receive applications from students with a wide variety of backgrounds. In fact, for the Women in STEM scholarship, one of the criteria is actually that students have relevant work experience or volunteer experience in the field that they wish to study. So I think in this case, having a gap between your studies and being able to demonstrate either industrial experience, volunteer experience in the specific field that you'd like to study in is a real benefit. And I think just for applying to study in the UK more generally, yeah, absolutely, particularly at postgraduate level, having relevant work experience and a broader range of experiences is very welcome.
Thank you so much, everyone, for finding the detailed information with the website addresses with all of you who are present here. So we hope that the questions not answered here, or if you have further questions, you will be able to find the answers in the website. So thank you very much, everyone. I hope that the session and the discussion points help the audience to know more about this scholarship event, not only about the scholarship, about studying in the UK in more generally, and also life in the UK, about the culture as well. So thank you very much, everyone who have contributed today in today's discussion. And for the audience, please feel free to visit the websites shared in the chat box, or feel free to talk to us. and hope this interesting and exciting opportunity you definitely explore yourself, and will also share with your friends and families. So good luck with your applications if you are doing any, and please feel free to contact us or the universities directly. At this moment, if any of you have any final comment or points to add, we have 1 more minute. Well, I hope that we have covered all the points planned to be covered today's session. And as every universities have shared their website address for detailed information, please go and visit the websites for the detailed information. So for today, I'd like to thank you very much, and just closing today's webinar here. So stay well and good luck.
Thanks,
Bye.
Nusrat. Thanks for hosting us today. Thanks, Prishka.
Thank you,
Goodbye,
everyone.
everybody.
Thanks, Nusrat. Take care.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.